Hello, this is Ana Reese, Fun Stampers Journey Coach, and today I will be showing you how to make this Valentine's Day card featuring the Amazing Hearts background stamp. I will begin by working on the background using the whipped cream reinker ink and also a small blending brush. All you need to do is put a few drops of the ink onto the acrylic block, and then with your blending brush squeeze a little bit just to get a little bit of water out, and then you will tap on the brush to get the ink on the cardstock. You will have to practice a little bit just to see how much force you will need to tap the brush with and how far away from the cardstock you need to be in order to get the desired splatter pattern. You will continue to apply the ink throughout the front of the card, and just remember to concentrate on the edges since the embellishments will cover the middle part. The Amazing Hearts background stamp is part of the Be Amazing collection, and today we will be embossing the image. In order to prime the cardstock, we will use the Colorless blender. All you need to do is apply it with the sponge, and this will create a base so the embossing powder will not attach to anything else but the inked stamp image. I will be using the clear pigment ink to emboss the image. Make sure you apply enough of the ink to get all the details of the stamp. I will use the Journey Silver embossing powder. Once heated, it will create a very nice metallic finish. Make sure just to tap the back of the image to get all the excess out. To melt the embossing powder, I will be using our Journey heat gun. Recently I saw a video by Christine Pennington. She's a fellow FSJ coach, and she explained that a friend of hers suggested that she try to use the heating gun from behind the cardstock. So I decided to give it a try, and I must say I really like the results. It seems to give a more even melting of the powder without overheating any areas. It takes a little bit longer to melt, but I do like the results, so I do suggest that you give it a try and see how it works for you. Now I am ready to color the image, and I will be using our wonderful pan pastels. I must say, if you have not tried these, you really have to. It's such a fun technique and so easy to use. As you can see here, very little goes a long way, and you could color big areas in very little time. I am using two different collections to use red, pink, purple, and blue. And the more you apply, the darker the colors get. Now I am using the paper trimmer to cut 4 squares out of the image. Each square will be 2 by 2 inches, and I just chose the parts of the stamp that I really liked, and I picked the blue, purple, and red. Now I am ready to work on the top layer of the card, and the first step will be to emboss the paper using Love Stripes embossing folder. This very cute new folder is found in the Bloom This Way mini catalog, and I can see me using this for many occasions. It's very cute. Now that I embossed the paper, I am ready to add some color using bubblegum silk and silver silk. This is a very fast technique to add a lot of dimension and texture to your projects. All you need to do is tap the brush, and a very nice splatter will go to your cardstock. These silks are very neat. They have a shimmer to them, and they can be used in this way, or you can use them straight to the stamp, and you can create very neat effects. Now we'll begin putting the front of the card together. I am using this very cute embellishments called paper clip elements. They are tiny paper clips and they are adorable. They look very cute on cards. I am using the foam squares to attach the square pieces to the front of the card. Now I am trying to figure out the layout and the placement of these pieces. As I went on with the project, the layout changed just a little bit. I decided to put the white cardstock slanted onto the card base, as you will see in just a few minutes. I am using the foam squares to add the pieces to the card, and this is a very easy way to add dimension to your projects, and not only looks nice, but also the pieces are very secure. Here I am attaching the paper clips to the edge of each of the squares, and it's not holding the piece to the cardstock, but it gives that illusion that it is. You can also perhaps put a sentiment attached to one of the paper clips. I think that would also look very nice. Now we'll be working on my sentiment. I cut a small strip of bubblegum cardstock to be the background for the sentiment. The sentiment is coming from Text Happy stamp set, and it has a very cute sayings that you can use for many occasions. As you can see, the cardstock is a leftover from the background stamp image that I made, and I decided to use this piece so I could have some of the blue of the pan pastels on the left corner. Here I am coloring the heart with red, one with the color burst pencil. I am measuring my sentiment against the strip, and using my detail shears, I create a small fishtail at the end of the sentiment. I will also do the same to the pink strip. Now that I am finishing the strip and the sentiment, I am ready to put the card together. I will be using foam squares to attach the front of the card to the card base. And instead of putting it straight, I will be tilting it towards the right. Both the pink strip and the sentiment will be tucked under the last square, and it will be aligned to the edge of the card base. I will be adhering these two together using the Easy Glide runner. First I do the pink strip and then the sentiment on top. These are new embellishments called Sweet Candy Drops, and they are a lot of fun to use, very easy to apply. Just make sure that once you set it on the cardstock, that's the place that you want them to be at, since they have a very strong adhesive and are not easy to remove. I am also using the Pink World sequins. I added a few of them both to the card base and to the front of the card. I am using the Journey Glaze to adhere them, and this little green tool here is called a bloom tool. I use it to press the sequins against the Journey Glaze to attach it. I will also use the Journey Glaze on the heart, and I kind of went over a little bit outside of the heart, so I use the tool to pick up the remainder. You can just use a wipe to remove the glaze from the bloom tool. I also use the heart sparkle drop in the middle of the heart, but the color is a little off, so I am using the silver silk to color it so it could match the cardstock. And here is our finished product. I hope you had fun creating this card, and if you have any questions or if you would like to purchase any of the items for this project, please visit funstampersjourney.com/Ana Reese. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.